Okay, good day ulit, Yuns. So this is another video presentation for the what we have last time, no? You copied the details of the presentations and I gave you 10 points, no? So ano yan, ano, puhunan na yan, ano, para doon sa ating 20 item assessment number 1. Okay? So the other half of the points will be given in the another video presentation called as the first topic that we have in the fourth quarter, no? The social work. Okay. Now, actually, this clientele and audiences in counseling is it is a no backlog topic, no. Supposed to be ito ay nasa third, hindi lang natin natapos. After this, we have two pa, no. Pero we might skip those topics and then proceeding with the topic for the fourth quarter. Okay? Ready? So this is the clientele and audiences in counseling. So we talk about the counselor. No? Now this time on the side or on the part of the counseling or called as the clientele and the audiences in counseling. Okay, but before that we have to take a refresher. Actually, it was given in the periodic test, the question. So babalikan lang natin if you really understand the items with the past lessons. Okay? So let's have a warm up or as a review. We're going to read and understand the following review questions and select the letter of the correct answer. No need to write. You just have it in your mind, the questions. Kasi naano lang ito eh. These are questions part of the third quarter periodical exams. Ulitin lang natin ano para maintindihan natin. Okay, ready? Number 1 question, Marian has difficulty to get along with her mother. Nag-away sila, no? What will be the goal of counseling for Marian? A, enhance the effectiveness in coping. B, improve her ability to maintain relationship. C, facilitate her behavior. Or D, promote her self-potential. This question was already given. So the answer, you just have it in your mind. What's the answer? The answer is to improve her ability to maintain relationship. Yun ang ano niya eh. Yun ang naging issue sa kanya eh, no? Yun ang naging problema. Okay? Find difficulties to getting along with her mother. So, ang magiging counseling natin dyan ay improve natin yung kanyang relationship with the mother. Okay? So, why not facilitate her behavior? The specific thing about the question is, what will be the goal? No? Kailangan specific din yung sagot niya. Since the issue here lies on the behavior, but what kind of behavior towards mother? Okay? Anyway, that's the answer. Number 2, my Pamangkin Jamir went to a counsel for him to discuss his problem about his love relationship. Binata na to pamangkin. He has been crying, always think about this problem. The clientele then told him to stop crying because that is not how he should react. Instead, think about the solution for it. In here, the counselor did something which should not be, no? Which of the following did the counselor do? A, sorting out client's problem. B, judgmental. C, expecting a client to behave in a certain way. Or D, the counselor and the counselee cried together. The answer? Yeah, expecting a client to behave in a certain way. The counselor don't expect if the counselee will cry or the counselee or the client might have a different reaction towards the communication between the counselor and the counselee. Huwag mag-expect, no? Sinabi niya, huwag kang umiyak, hindi naman ganyan tama. So, sinabi, yun ang hindi dapat gawin ng counselor, no? Yung expecting a client to behave in a certain way. Gets? Number three, because the primary role of a counselor is to assist clients, no, in reaching their optimal level of psychosocial functioning through resolving negative patterns, prevention, rehabilitation, improving quality of life. So whether if the reaction is unfamiliar to the counselor, but the thing here is, the counselor must not expect something about the counseling. Whether tumawa siya, no? Yeah, meron akong problema. Hindi pa rin ina-expect yan, ano? And then uh, telling to the client, na that's not how you react. Well, reaction nga yan, eh. Kailangan maipakita pa rin ng no, ng counseling kung ano yung what kind of reaction will be. Okay? Nag-gets ha? Number three, the counselor for the Raha can help with except academics, finances, relationships, future ready. Di daw siya pwede, lahat daw yan ay pwede niyang tulungan. Except, what is the answer? Alam na natin yan, ano? Siyempre, finances, no? Counselor, meron akong bibili na pang project. Pwede ho bang, hindi problem yan, sinosolve doon sa counseling. Okay? The counselor might give an assistance on how to make money, no? Or recommendations on how to get resources. Hindi yung magbibigay mismo ng pera. Okay? Hindi lahat na lang punta tayo sa counselor. No? So the answer is finances. So kung may problema din yung classmates mo ng finances, anong counseling yung gagawin mo dyan? And more so, it is not part of the counseling processes, giving out finances. Maybe a support, no? A recommendation or an assistance on how to make money or on how to make resources, but not giving out a money. Magets ha? Number 4, Penfori is a guidance counselor at school. He's very concerned about the thoughts, weaknesses, wellness, and welfare of the students. What characteristics of counselor is being described? A, empathy. B, sympathy. C, self-awareness. D, judgmental. What's the answer here? Yeah, empathy. Nandoon siya, no? Nalalaman niya yung kahinaan, kabutihan, at saka yung no, kalagayan ng mga estudyante. Yun yung dapat alam ng guidance counselor. The guidance counselor must have empathy, no, on the clients. Number 5, a type of counseling that helps the client avoid some undesired outcome. Alam na natin yan. Paulit-ulit na tinanong ito. No? Actually, may nagkamali pa rin. No? Preventive. We are avoiding. That's the the key word. No? You have to avoid. You have to prevent it. Okay? Number 6, it represents the goals appropriate to the examining of options, testing of skills, and trying new and different activities for the betterment of the client. I've said the keyword, no? The new and different activities. What's the answer? Of course, exploratory, no? Making giving out a new and different activities. So the counselor must have a vast knowledge of activities or games or any ways to be able to come up with an idea, ways to come up with solutions, ways to come up to motivate the clients. Dapat maano siya dyan, maalam siya dyan. Exploring new and different activities. Gets? Number 7, the important part in the counseling process. Ito na naman tayo, baka may magkamali pa. Siyempre, relationship. Building the relationship is the key and the vital among the processes in counseling. Kailangan meron kang ano, pag meron ka ng in a nutshell, a close relationship. Hindi naman yung close na close, no? Para bang kagaanan mo na ng loob, tuloy-tuloy na yan. Pati sa pagbibigay ng mga suggestions or the decision making. He even react, ano, kapag talagang nakapalagayan mo na ng loob yung client. Okay? That's the very important and very vital in the counseling processes. Number 8, it involves acquiring the basic foundation of learning and cognitive skills. May mali pa ba dyan? O, yun na nga, cognitive. Okay? Number 9, assist in meeting or advancing the client's human growth and development, including social, personal, emotional, cognitive, and physical wellness. Pangkalahatan na lahat ito, no? Physiological is for health and body. No? So the answer is developmental. Lahat yan in all aspects. Kaya nga, social, personal, emotional, cognitive, and physical wellness. The last one, it is a type of counseling used to seize problems before it gets worsened. Ulit na ulit, okay? Hindi na edit. Preventive. Okay? So, that is actually a ring back, no, on the third quarter periodical test, just to review or to bank it in your mind kung ano man yung mga dapat, what are the ways, what are concepts related to counseling. Okay? Let's go to our topic. This is actually, as I have told you, this is a backlog topic, no? The clientele and the audiences. So we speak of the counselor, ano yung kanyang mga ginagawa, ano yung mga dapat niyang gawin, ano yung ethical considerations. Now we go to the clientele and audiences. The definition, clientele and audiences are the individual and groups of people who receive services from various counseling professions constitute the clientele and the audiences. Sila yung binibigyan mo ng recommendation, suggestions, or payo. So sila yung clientele and audiences. We tend not to use the word clientele kasi we use counseling kasi that is part. Clientele kasi kliyente na that is more on business terms, no? Well, the audiences pwede naman siya pero audiences only listens, diba? Pero kapag counseling ka and the counselor, there is a two-way communications. Okay? Now, these individuals and groups vary in their needs and context where they avail of counseling services. So these people have a different problems, different conversation and communications to deal with. So every client has a different purposes and objectives. So counselor must be ready, no, on different items to be given by the client or the audience. Kasi magkakaiba yan, no? Hindi lahat ng problema, kahit ang magkapatid, no? Mayroong magkaibang problema yan. No? Iisa na yung bahay, iisa yung parents, iisa yung... Pero they have a separate problems or issues regarding personal, social, economic, psychological, magkakaiba yan. Okay? So that's a clientele and audiences. Next, ano nga ba yung characteristics, no, to be considered as the clientele and audience? Let me ask you and to give you the answer if it is true or false. Number 1, people who need services are abnormal people. What's the answer? Yeah, false. Diba? And those people, the clientele and audiences, they usually needed clinical and medical help. Is it true or false? No, false. Hindi lahat clinical and medical. Okay? Pag sinabi natin clinical, more on psychological, ano? May mga processes na gagawin dito. Or psychiatrical. Medical naman, yung gamot, no? May mga sakit. Not all. It is not the usual thing about the client and the audience na pupunta dun sa counselor. So, false. Gets? Ano ang meron pag pumupunta ang client or audience doon sa counselor? They may be in need of guidance, no, at critical moments of their growth. Sometimes nagkakaroon sila ng mga developmental problems or issues. Identity crisis, no? Halimbawa, hindi siya hindi siya makapag-reveal ng kaniyang preference. Punta dun sa counselor. Anong gagawin niya? Or anyone in need of assistance in realizing change of behavior and attitudes. Maybe nag-step up siya ng kanyang status. What will be the change of their behavior and attitudes towards work, talking to people. So ganyan lang yan. So hindi yan finances, hindi yan medical issues, and most especially not a clinical, no? Behavioral siya. Ganito lang nagagawin mo, mga suggestions lang kung anong dapat. Okay? Sometimes the client and the audience wanted to develop their social skills. Pakikipag-usap lang siya. And wanted to develop or have an effective communications. So, ang counselor dyan, magsasuggest, ganito yung gagawin mo, ganito yung magiging or naliligaw ng landas ang client, no? Spiritual direction. Usually, nasa ito, no? Nasa formal, informal counseling ito, no? At ang mga nagbibigay ng spiritual directions ay spiritual people, no? Pare, imam, pastor, or in terms of a client wanted to decide something about the decision making or looking the possible course to be taken, no, in college, the career choices. Ano dapat kung so nalilito, punta doon sa counselor. Okay? Other issues when a client or an audience knocks on the door of the counselor, maybe a premarital and marital counseling. Ito naman sa mag-asawa, no? Or sa mag-aasawa pa lang. Marriage counselor ang tawag siya. Maybe hindi niya nakayanan yung grief and loss, kailangan niya ng kausap, no? Punta sa counselor. Victim and domestic violence. Okay? Or and other abuses na pwede nating i-refer doon sa counselor. So yun yung iniisip ng mga client and audience kung bakit sila pumupunta doon sa counselor. Marami pa, no? Hindi lang na-highlight lang yung iba. Okay? What are the needs of various types of client and audience? Sometimes, at all times, the clientele and audience seek more options and find better, more appropriate ones. Minsan nalilito lang, to decide something about. So, kailangan nila ng iba pang suggestions or maybe recommendations or points to decide something about. Yun nga yun, seek more options. Saan? In dealing with stress or simply decision making. Ano nga ba talaga? So, punta ka dun saan? Sa friends, sa parents, di ba? Just to ask for more options. Ano nga bang gagawin ko? Ano pa bang dapat kong gawin? Okay? Another thing is, kapag sa job seeking naman, client, counselors provide avenues for people to find the necessary information and get employment that is suited for them. Ito yung sa mga job sa grade 11 and grade 12, meron tayong mga career guidance, no? Ito yung kung saan tayo very lenient, no? Lenient ba tayo sa pagiging police, pagiging doctor, or pagiging psychologist, pagiging teacher. So, binibigyan ng advices, no? In a way, this is through sometimes seminars, forums, kung ano yung mga dapat mong isipin in your career, no? Career opportunities or you're about career. The job counselor sometimes provides technical aspect in preparing CV or resume. Sa grade 12, nakagawa na sila nito. Maybe giving tips on how to answer interviews of the employer as they applied for a job. And how to present and conduct self before employer. Ano yung dapat pananamit, pagsasalita, ano yung dapat mong ano. Tinuturo lahat yan, no? In a point na yung client and the audience is a job-seeking people. Sana nakukuha, saglit lang naman ito. Now, in marriage issues, they talk about, of course, marriage. No? Counselors provide the need for conflict resolution skills. Okay? O sinabi dito, conflict resolution skills. Sabi ng maghiwalay na lang kayo, hindi kayo magkasundo eh. Pero pag conflict resolution, kaya nga resolution, giving out resolutions. Siguro at the least point that the counselor to advise is file na lang an annulment. No? When actually counselors tried to to make a resolution out of this conflict, no, between maritals, between husband and wife, or between parties. Kasi may mga other considerations, the children, the parties as well, no? It causes they have to face stress, no? And other domestic problems. Kaya binibigyan agad ng resolution. Yung iba naman, nag-away, pag natulog, usap muna. Hindi na dumadaan sa mga counselors. No? Pero basically, if in marriage issues, counselor tend to provide a conflict resolutions, to both husband and wife. Next, as a drug and rehabilitation counselor, need clients overcome their problems or mitigate some of the most negative effects of drug abuse. Yun yung point na dapat sabihin ng counselor na ito yung kasasadlakan mo niyan, no? Kapag talagang tuloy-tuloy ka sa paggamit ng pinagbabawal na gamot. Ipinapakita ng counselor niya doon sa client or sa audience para ma-realize nila or to have a wake-up call or a motivations, no? Para to seek help in rehabilitating oneself. So their goal is to facilitate client rehabilitation. Walang nag-a-advise, sige. Siguro pagbigyan mo lang sarili mo ng 1 week paggamit ka. Wala namang ganun, So just to stop, to seize the problem, the addictions, and to have to what do you call this, to have a rehabilitation. Well, that's in the term of addiction, no? Kapag ganun. Sometimes a client or an audience ay iniisip pa lang niya, no? Alam mo, doctor, or alam mo, counselor, mga friends ko, niyayaya ako ng gumamit eh. Pwede siya, no? So, anong ibibigay na advice ng counselor? Mga ganong problems ba ng client and audience? No, counselors respond to the need, no, to be helped to go through loss, death in the family. Malamang yan, kailangan talaga ng mga kausap ng mga yan. O kaya kailangan ng mga activities. No? Na sometimes the counselor recommends some of the activities. to the clients to be able to minimize or a necessity to come up with a diversion sa kanyang kawalan, no? Maging kawalan man ng pamilya o miyembro ng pamilya or and the counselors need the need to facilitate processing and rehabilitation of abused children through recovery procedures. So ito yung mga ano no, yung mga abused children na kailangan ding may processes ito no kapag yung ang naging client niya ay mga inaabuso no or nabubuli for example. So may mga processes. Okay? Not just that's what I'm telling you no that the client and audiences has a different ways of expressing their issues and problems. As well, they have the different problems per se no. Paano natin i-cater? Okay? And the clientele audiences comes from different settings with different issues and concerns. Ito yun. They may not follow or lead. They may not obey, follow, or seek the instructions given by the counselor. They might because they have different approaches and reactions to the recommendations given. Diba yun no? Kasi iba-iba yung settings, no? Ito yung sinasabi natin, iba-iba yung cultural values ng mga clientele. Okay? Kung may problem, hindi dapat i-compare yun with the problem or kung ano yung naging recommendation mo sa isa, not to be given the same thing, the same suggestions to the different client audience. Like people who abuse drugs. O one thing naman yun, rehabilitate. Pero depende, no? People who use alcohol, women and children, yan ang mga nagiging clientele, no? Victims of abuses, domestic violence, and the thing about the LGBTQA community, ang daming problema dyan, ano? Sometimes talagang kailangan nila ng counseling dyan. I have a school, batch. I have higher year ako, nakilala ko lang, and he has difficulties in with their parents na matanggap siya as gay. Hindi naman talaga siya mukhang gay, no? So, pinatago-tago niya yun. And then later on, hindi niya na nakayanan yung problem. Wala kasi siyang makausap na counseling. Kasi, nire-reject niya rin no, ang talks about his identity. Nahihiya siya o kaya ano. You know what? He committed suicide. No? Uminom siya ng Clorox. Pag ininom mo yun, di ba? Acid yun eh. Nakakaawa pa yun dahil unti-unti mong mararamdaman yun. Hindi ko pa nararanasan pero I think yung slow death ang nangyari sa kanya, no? Napaka tragic, no? Siguro walang makausap, walang ma-share, walang friends because he keeps himself from the other and to the world, no? Kasi nga may problems. So that's one part of the problem, no? Yung mga hindi ma-reveal yung kanilang sa family, sa friends, yan. Problema yan. One particular, pwede rin siya na maging issue and concerns about the problems with the clientele and audience. As a summary, counselor plays a significant role in our society, no? Actually, in all aspects and dimensions. Kailangan mo lang talagang ma-share sa kanya para mabigyan ka ng communications. No? Actually, communication is the key. Yung mga nagkakaroon ng problema at Di ba may problem na, tara pre, inom tayo. Kasi gusto nilang kausap. And they can speak of the truth, lalo na kapag alcohol na yung iniinom nila. No? Parang gusto nila na gano'n lang, mailabas na mai-release. And those people who cannot, sometimes they deal a with a tragic solutions, no? Katulad ng kinuwento ko sa inyo, no? Na uminom ng Clorox. College students yun, ano. So, yun pa. Okay? They give guidance and assistance to those who are in need, of course. Actually, ang point din kasi ng counselors, they don't know what is needed to a person, not until they profess it or they start talking about it. Eh, katulad nung college, ano ko, no, friend ko, hindi siya nagsasalita, eh, nahihiya siya. Okay? So, other things about the counselors, the support, they give, they help, ano pa, they motivates, they recognize, they acknowledge actually problem situations of an individual in different ways. So it is must for a problematic person to talk about it. No? Kaya nga, kahit tayo, we are not a registered counselor, let's engage in talking to a friends in need, no? Ano yung kailangan ng friend? Usap lang yan. Kahit ang problema niya ay pag-ibig or ano man sa parents, kausapin mo siya. Yan siya. And in a nutshell, you may not be called as a registered counselor, but you play a part as a counselor. Because yun ang ano yun ang magiging point of understanding of the subjects that we deal with the subject, playing a part as a counselor, giving solutions to the problems. Okay? So focusing on the clientele and the audience, huwag na nating hintayin, no, kung anong problema nito. Kung talagang close friend mo, topic agad. Anong problema mo? Usap tayo. Tara, lakad tayo. Tara, ano tayo? Okay? So, that's it. That is a short the short discussions regarding the clientele and the audience. And then expect more discussions regarding the topic, lalo na yung ating fourth quarter topic, which is the about social work. So expect more of the video presentations. Might as well give you the format of Facebook Live and other things para magkaroon tayo to give way to our asynchronous class every Tuesday and Thursday. Okay? That's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for seeing. Thank you for okay, what else? Thank you. Yun lang yun. And yun lang. Thank you.